in the dark corners of the past, unfolds the majesty of Hesiod's Theogony, an epic that stands as the definitive oracle of the myths surrounding the creation of the gods of Olympus, composed around 700 years before Christ, as a myth encompassing the oldest history of the world and its inhabitants. In ancient Greece, it was believed that the gods of their religion had human forms called anthropomorphism, and from this conception, they created universal myths that influenced and will continue to influence the cultural manifestations of all times, where painters, sculptors, writers, directors, and a wide number of artists draw inspiration from the divine world of Olympus to create masterpieces. But what were these anthropomorphisms, and how does this supernatural reality that wove together the divine and the human in an indistinguishable embrace originate? Today, in our undefined history, we will tell you, immerse yourself with us in this journey to the magical world of Olympus, and let's discover the history of the birth of its famous gods. Are you willing to explore the depths of ancient Greece and discover the myths that have endured in the heart of humanity? Dive with us into the waters of anthropomorphism, and don't miss a second of this wonderful, magical world as we invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to know your next undefined stories. Cosmogony, the birth of the Greek gods. According to ancient Greece, at the beginning of everything, there was only chaos. The elements that would create the universe already existed, but they were rearranged into absolute non-existence without having any absolute meaning. This chaotic period lasted for thousands of years. Gaia, the goddess Earth, Gaia for the Greeks and Tellus for the Romans, was born from this primordial chaos, huge, beautiful, and fearsome. A goddess whose strongest attribute was her incredible fertility, giving birth to the planet and personifying everything that had meaning in this world. As Gaia felt very lonely, she wanted to have a husband worthy of her. But who could be as immense as to embrace the entire Earth? She herself created from the starry sky, which is as large as the Earth, and every night covers it, spreading over it. And she called him Uranus, joining him to give birth to many ancient deities. First were born 12 Titans, males and females. Then were born 3 Cyclopes, giants with a single eye in the middle of their forehead, who owned the thunderbolt, lightning and thunder, named Steropes, the one who gives the thunderbolt, Brontes, the one who thunders, and Arges, the one who shines. And finally, the 3 Hecatonchires were born violent monsters with 50 heads and 100 arms, called Cottus, Briareos, and Gyges. Uranus distrusted his children. He feared that one of them would strip him of his power over the universe, and so he did not allow them to see the light. He kept them locked in the dark depths of the earth, that is, in the womb of their mother. That dark and terrible place was called Tartarus. Gaia, immense, heavy, could no longer bear the tremendous burden of so many children imprisoned within her body, and suffered also for them. Gaia asked her children to destroy the sky, but they all refused, because although they were enormous and powerful, they felt small compared to their father, the immense starry sky, and did not dare to look outside of Mother Earth. Only the young Cronus, the youngest of the Titans, a wicked one with a twisted mind, was willing to help. But it was not only for love of his mother, but because, just as Uranus feared, he planned to take all the power for himself. One night, when Uranus, the starry sky, arrived bringing darkness with him and fell upon the earth, enveloping it in his embrace, his son Cronus attacked him with the sickle his mother had given him and threw him into the sea. The pain and cry of the sky were heard to the ends of the universe, and the heavens reddened with his blood. The orbs of the sky fell into the sea, and from them emerged various deities from the water. In that place, surrounded by foam, was born the most beautiful of the deities, Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. Meanwhile, although Cronus had promised his mother to free his siblings, upon seeing the terrifying appearance of the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires, he only released those who resembled him and would help him rule, the Titans. Uranus did not die, but he no longer had power. Now it was Cronus, the young twisted-minded Titan, who ruled over the universe. After a celebration banquet for his triumph, the spirit of the starry sky visited Cronus and revealed to him a terrifying prophecy. He told him that just as he had lost his throne to a descendant, the same would happen to him. Cronus began to lead the universe there, after dethroning his father and freeing the Titans, marrying the Titanide Rhea, the one with beautiful hair. They had 6 children, but Cronus did not forget the prophecy of his father Uranus. With his evil and twisted mind, tormented by those words, he decided that none of his little ones would grow enough to face him. Simply, he would eat them alive. One by one, Cronus devoured his children: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Rhea begged him each time with tears to let them live, but she could not soften the hard heart of the Titan. And when she was in her 6th pregnancy, she asked for help from her mother Gaia to save that baby. Following her mother's advice, Rhea told her husband that he should make a trip to the island of Crete. There, in the midst of a dense forest, there was a deep cavern where the Titanide hid to give birth to Zeus, the youngest of her children. Gaia, Mother Earth, took charge of the little one, and so it was, lying in a cave in Crete, Rhea gave birth to a beautiful child who had tremendous powers. So she left her son in the care of the nymphs and the Cretan soldiers, who beat their shields to drown out the cries of the child. Meanwhile, Rhea returned to her husband, complaining as if she was suffering at that moment the pains of childbirth. Shortly after, she handed Cronus what appeared to be a baby, her 6th child. Cronus swallowed it without a second thought. Only that this child was heavier than his siblings. What his wife had given him was a huge stone wrapped in swaddling clothes. Rhea, meanwhile, cried by his side, but this time not out of sadness, but of joy for having managed to save her son's life. On the island of Crete, Zeus drank from the milk of Amalthea, growing stronger every day, and in just 1 year he had become an adult and powerful god. With the passage of time, the ocean goddess Metis, a deity of wisdom, went to visit Zeus and revealed to him the fate that had befallen his brothers in the stomach of his father by giving him a potion that could release them. But first, it was necessary for Zeus to recover his brothers. With the help of Rhea, they made Cronus swallow a magic potion that forced him to bring back to life all the children he had devoured. Thus, already turned into adults, in all their strength and majesty, the brothers of Zeus were separated from Cronus's flesh. In this way, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon came back to life and went to live with Zeus on the top of Mount Olympus. They had to prepare for the war that was coming, since, according to the prophecies, Zeus would become the king of the gods and the owner of the universe. Cronus would pay for his wickedness. And so, we have come to the end of this wonderful delivery, where we shared the mythical story of the fascinating origin of the Greek gods. Together, we traveled the path from the primordial chaos to the birth of Zeus. But this story is not over yet. In our next video of Your Undefined Stories, we will discover the Titanomachi. If you want to know what we are referring to, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this exciting mythical adventure that begins the Greek civilization. Until our next encounter,